Hello, welcome. My name is John Bokenkamp. I am the creator of the Blacklist. And thank you. Wow, very cool. We're super excited about this. This is going to be really fun. We have not shown this pilot to anybody publicly. This is our sort of world premiere of the pilot. I have never created a television show before, and I've never been to ComicCon, and this is insane. So we have a great panel. The rest of the creative team is here, as well as our stars, Boone, Diego Klattenhoff, and Mr. James Spader. Absolutely, yeah. The longer I talk, the less time we have to talk for a panel. So with that, please enjoy the Blacklist.
Hey everybody, I'm Alan Sepinwall. I'm from hitfix.com. How about the Blacklist? We unfortunately don't have a lot of time, so we're not going to be able to take audience questions, but I'd like to bring out the creative team and the stars of the show right now. Let's start off with executive producers, John Bokenkamp, John Eisendrath, and John Fox. She plays FBI agent Elizabeth Keene, Boone. You may know him from Homeland or Pacific Rim, Diego Klattenhoff. And our final panelist, I'm told this is his very first time at Comic-Con, so let's give James Spader a really good San Diego welcome. All right, let's get started. For any John who wants to answer this, where did the idea for this come from, and talk a little bit about sort of the influences that went into the creation of Reddington?
The idea actually started with a meeting between John Fox and I. Fox had this sort of, it was right around the time Whitey Bulger had been captured. And Fox had the notion of a criminal with a lifetime criminal. What would happen if somebody like this started talking?
Yeah, it kind of felt like if a guy like Whitey Bulger were to if I thought if Whitey Bulger were to talk to the feds, which he ultimately did, but if he were to talk to the feds, he would be like the Rosetta Stone of crime, just unlocking everything. Crimes he committed, crimes his friends committed, past crimes, future crimes. So from there, John and I just started, thinking about how to take this character and put him at the center of a modern show. So I think from there, we started to kind of build out the mythology a little bit. Mm-hmm. He took on more of a Kaiser Soze-like kind of feel, mysterious, elusive, and a guy who has a reputation for being the concierge of crime, which is a line that we liked a lot. That was in the pilot, and we cut it. We should put it back in, I think. Yeah.
And why James Spader to play this role?
Why James? I mean, because he's fantastic in the role. I mean, I'll say one thing that did not exist really at all in the script that is like sort of now the embodiment of the character is this great sense of humor, and sort of the delight that Red takes in being Red and how much he enjoys being that. And so there's sort of this lovely. It's just not quite so dark and straightforward, and that's something that he brought in spades. Pun not intended. I really that's not.
And James, why did you want to play this role?
I just thought it was a neat show. I really thought it was a neat show, and I've done a little bit of series work in the past, and. And what little I knew about it was that you better make a choice to play a character that's going to sustain, and that you're going to be curious about them over a long span of time, and that questions are going to go unanswered for a while, not only for an audience but for me as well. and this character seemed like that. And I also, frankly, I saw the opportunity for humor, and there was a fair amount in the story, in the script that I received. And I just thought that this guy was such a strange mix of someone who is dangerous and scary at times, but also compelling. And I think that part of that is his sense of humor. And I liked the enigmatic quality of the story. I mean, what's funny, you guys just saw it, but what's interesting is that you see an awful lot, and you're immediately drawn in, and this was all on the page when I read the script, you're immediately drawn in by these people, but at the end of the story, you know nothing about them. And the things that you think you may know will turn out to not be so, maybe. And I thought that was great, because when you're shooting your 18th episode in a season, the one thing you're looking for is a surprise. Really, from a completely selfish point of view, you want to be surprised when you open the next script. So this show seemed like it had all those possibilities.
So do you not know what's motivating him, what his relationship is with Liz?
I know some.
And how much do you want to know? Are you sort of happy leaving?
Well,
some
no,
in the
I mean,
dark?
because a great deal of that depends on the life of the series, and those things can change and they can evolve, and I did films for many years, and when you do that, you sort of know your beginning, a middle, and end before you ever start shooting. And first time I ever did a series was really just a handful of years ago, and I loved that aspect of it, that it was such a gamble. You really didn't know. You were taking a flyer on it, and you really didn't know where it was going to go, and you sort of grew with the show, and the show grew with you. And so I don't want to know everything. I want to know enough to be able to do my job and nothing more.
All right, this one's for the Johns. When I found out that I was doing this panel, the question that everyone wanted me to ask you is very simply, is Liz Red's daughter?
I think that to the extent that we are going to answer it, the answer would be that we will explore the reasons why he has some clearly sick and potentially twisted paternal feelings toward
Just watch the show.
Thank you.
Good answer. Good answer.
That's why he's the star of the show.
That's right.
Megan and Diego, what is it like working with a guy with the force of personality and the screen presence of James Spader?
I couldn't have done this job without James. James was so supportive of me. My first scene with him, I was extremely nervous. And he was very kind and humble and accommodating, and I don't know that my performance would have been as relaxed, and I would have been able to be as present without him there. So that was my experience.
Diego?
Ditto. I got nothing to say. He said it all. She said it all. No, it's very humbling to, go to.
Very kind and warm though with you, was I?
No, he's a brick. That's why they have this whole 18 and under maybe watching. So I'll keep it short. No, it's very humbling to go to work and see him sitting opposite you, but then you get down to work and find out that there's so much more that you can do with him, and he brings out the best in everybody. It's very exciting. So as my lovely co-star will say as well. So.
Well, James, if you could expand on that a little bit. You and Megan in this pilot do a lot of talking. You're obviously going to do a lot more as the series continues. What was the early stages of that relationship like for you?
Anticipation. And the nice thing about shooting this pilot was that we were able to play the things, which you try and do anyway in anything that you're working on. You try and bring whatever it is, the baggage that you're bringing, your idiosyncrasies, your eccentricities, whatever the hell you're going through during that specific day, as opposed to try and shoving them under the rug. play those things and let them live and so on, and let them inform what you're doing. And we were very lucky on this show because in the pilot, and continuing on going forward in the series, is there's this tremendous anticipation. This is something he's been wanting for some time, and something he's been looking forward to for some time. And so it was very easy to play that, because I also felt that same anticipation working with Megan. You know, I'm always anticipating the people that I'm going to be working with, and the people that you're interested in and that you're curious about. And I found that to be true with everybody working on this show, is I was genuinely curious, but she most of all. And I think that comes across in their scenes together. I think it comes across, this odd, sort of enigmatic unknown between the two of them. And secrets are a great thing. You know, secrets are such a part of everyone's life, and that's allowed to live in this show. Is how you reckon with secrets in your own life and in others, and the secrets that others know about you, and your secrets that you hold very dear, that someone in the first time meeting them, they somehow are intuitive about the things that you hold very close to your heart. And I think that's an interesting aspect of this relationship between both Red and Elizabeth. From both sides, I think intuitively she responds to something in him. And the same thing happened with Megan and I was glad for that.
Okay, we have time for one more question for the Johns. I know you don't want to give away the story and give away the secrets, but can you tease the crowd here who came to Comic-Con with some of the stories and some of the things they might expect from the Blacklist coming up?
You can't just say, just watch the show, I guess.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, the series and the concept is very much, what I would say is very much about identity and secrets. And obviously we're going to answer some big questions, you know, which I don't obviously want to answer now, but yeah, it's very much about identity and who these people are. So as much as it is in the pilot about realizing that none of these people are really who they present themselves to be. And we're going to dive into that and answer a lot of those questions.
All right, The Blacklist premieres Monday, September 23rd, 10 p.m. NBC. Give it up for the cast and creators of The Blacklist.